already in a freeze moment right now, but just some tips and tricks. A lot of people have been reaching out to us, and we kind of want to help you guys make sure you protect your house as well as possible. So you want to keep your heat on at least a nice 65, 70 degrees. Even if you guys leave out of town, you want to open up your cabinet doors also, so then you actually have that nice hot warm air coming inside of that cabinet, which then will keep your plumbing lines nice and warm. And then you also want to drip your hot water here. As you can see, you want to do a nice little drip on there. And then same with your cold, because if you only do the cold side, your water heater is actually not circulating everything through there. So you want to make sure both of those are pushing. You are going to have a little bit higher water bill, but it's definitely worth it versus paying a deductible with a water loss claim. Another good tip is on your water main right here from the city. We made sure everything was good, and as you can see, nice big bag of mulch. I learned this from a old timer. More or less, you have a chemical reaction inside of this mulch, which will actually keep a little bit of warmth. It's nothing perfect, but instead of shoving insulation inside of the water main, which will get waterlogged and actually freeze itself, just throw a bag of mulch over your stuff. It'll cost $2 to $5 at your local hardware store. And as you can tell, we got a nice faucet cover we're about to go talk about in the back. As you guys can see right here, this is a lot older style valve than your typical house. A lot of them have them coming out of the bricks, but some of your old school houses actually are coming out of the ground. Thing is, making sure your valves are good before you actually have one fail on you. But the biggest thing is, when we come into the freezing season, is disconnect your water hose. Sorry, it's a little hard to see with all the overgrown vegetation, but making sure this is turned off. As you can see, we put some pipe wrap on here down below, and then here we're putting a pipe cover on it, just more or less to help us a little bit. We still do need some water here on the inside a little bit, but doing that right there with the insulation underneath it, you do not drip this, but more or less make sure your hose is disconnected, turn the valve completely off, and then more or less just make sure this is insulated. That'll keep these from bursting, especially this one here is not an anti-siphon like your newer homes have. Those actually, if they burst, they'll actually cut off the water inside. So if you have questions about that, we have our plumbers. Some of those are just quick little service calls, and sometimes if it's a little bit more in depth, we'll bring out our master plumber, stuff like that. Other than that, just making sure the outside is also protected. A lot of people forget to disconnect your hose, and that'll actually cause this to burst, which then causes a water leak, which of course then if that moisture comes around your foundation, you can start to have foundation issues just because this pipe bursting outside. So after going over all these tips and tricks, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. And of course, even if you follow these tips and tricks, there is the possibility of your house still freezing up, a pipe burst, stuff like that. If that happens, feel free to give us a call. Biggest thing is, first, make sure you go kill your water main out front. If you have not ever done that, look up a quick YouTube video. We'll go over a video at another point in time on how to disconnect your main water. But make sure you turn the water off first before you start freaking out and your water keeps on running. Run outside, call a neighbor, go bang on their doors. Most of the time, somebody right near you will be able to turn off that water main. Once that happens, then you can reach out to us, reach out to your insurance company. I typically say reach out to a recommended contractor that is savvy in water mitigation. Do not just reach out to a typical contractor because it is a little different type of a loss. So other than that, if y'all have questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to us. Anyways, this is Garrett with Warrior Wolf. Y'all have a great day.